Shop anywhere else, I'll be. Bro, yo, listen. If you want a premium steak, mate, yeah, you go to the butchers or you go Waitrose, bro. And I'm sorry for saying, you're the butchers / Waitrose, mate. And you got that premium steak that we need, mate. Yeah, I don't want no fucking some hanging tough meat, mate. Yeah, pause. Yeah, we need to move on for this. Nah, I went down the wrong path there, boys. I can't lie. Oh, nah, we need to move on from that one. Get me out the meat shop right now. Get me out the meat shop right now. Nah, that went south real quick. Yeah, I know, boys. I know. Yo, chill. I went the wrong way, boys. I went the wrong way. Get me out of there. Take me to the fruit aisle. Oh, LB's getting fruity. What the hell? You guys are gonna smash these likes up, man. 900 people.
Good morning. Sorry I'm late. And sorry for the confusion. I did set the stream up for 10:30 tonight. You know what? My daughter's just got back from Turkey and she's a sucker for a bacon and egg sandwich in the morning. So I was trying to juggle. And to be honest with you, I'm still catching up with sleep. And do you know what? I have to apologise. I've been really shit the last couple of weeks. I know before I went to Mykonos, I was mint. I was getting up early, shows every single morning. Went Mykonos, had 7 days drinking non-stop, and then that threw the routine out. Got back, went Wembley, that threw the routine out even more. Last week, started getting back on it, and then guess what? I ended up going Fulham at the weekend. I promise you, every night I'm going to bed early now, yeah? Trying to get back into my routine. There is no more football. So, well, until the Club World Cup, that is. Then I'm going to be up till late watching games. But anyway, listen, apologies, people. Stick with me. But you know what? Right now, yeah, the season is over. We've got Champions League football. And the news coming out of Manchester is getting better, right? Even if you are one of the less positive City fans, the news coming out is good, right? The news coming out is good. And yesterday afternoon, we hear something that I can't lie, I'm quite happy about. Lilo and a couple of other members of the coaching staff will be leaving. And the news is that Pep apparently himself wants to be challenged more, wants some new faces with some new ideas, which is promising because it shows that Pep is knowing he has to adapt a little bit too. For me, mini Kevin Keegan Lilo, look, we can't knock him because he's been by Pep's side for a lot of the time. But as his main assistant, it does just seem like he sits there and just listens, right? So it's a good sign. It is a good sign. Very good sign for me. Yeah, Lilo just seems to sit there looking like Kevin Keegan and just letting Pep. It's almost like, you know, when Arteta went, right, and there was that video of Pep where he's talking to himself. He's talking to like a chair with nobody in it. Feels like Lilo was just like, do you know what? Yeah, I'll come and sit in the chair and you can just keep talking to the chair, but I'll be there now. So you will at least kind of not feel like a knobhead. But don't know how much he's brought to the table. One of the other guys that is leaving as well, which is quite interesting, a guy that's leaving to become a manager elsewhere, is apparently our set piece taker. Now, not taker, sorry, our set piece coach. Now, if that is true, I'm all for that as well, because we've got to be honest, right? Our set pieces are fucking diabolical. I know we scored a corner against against Nottingham Forest in the semi-final. I was actually saying to everyone when we got the corner, what's the point? We don't score corners. We actually went and scored a corner. But for a team with some of the players that we have been really, really, really bad at set pieces. I mean, when people knock Arsenal for set piece FC, I'm kind of like, I don't understand why you're knocking them, because look, and it isn't their plan A, it's a plan B, and it's the perfect plan B. If you are attacking a team as much as Manchester City are, right, you should be winning a lot of corners, because the idea of the opposite team is to stop you from scoring. Now, to stop you from scoring, often that means the ball goes off the pitch or they give away a free kick. So you get a free kick or a penalty, right? If you as a club need to make the most of those opportunities, right? If you're a club like City that attack a lot, therefore get a lot of corners, get a lot of free kicks, and you're not making the most of corners and free kicks, what are we doing? Now, secondly, at the other end, as Belly just said, can see more goals from our own corners than we score from them. If we then go to the other end, right, and that zonal, I'm pretty certain, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but zonal marking. I remember Pellegrini used to do zonal marking. I know Pep does. I hate zonal marking. Remember at times this season, was it against Liverpool where Rico Lewis was marking fucking Van Dijk? Somehow, because of zonal marking, it was down to Rico Lewis to pick up Van Dijk. Not for that. Right then, doofus. City will not get Cherki. Just got a feeling. Think cover and maybe one other leaves. There will not be many changes, as rumours suggest. Yeah, doofus creations. I see why you called doofus, to be fair. I fully see why you called doofus. Yeah. I think Kovacic is probably one of the least likely to leave, to be frank with you, bro. I think Kovacic is probably going our top 3 players from this year. I can't see Kovacic leaving me. Zonal marking invites pressure. Absolutely, totally agree with that. Right, we are going to have some people join us today. I'm just having a quick look to see if one other person... yeah, I can't see... yeah, so Alan's going to join us in a little while. And let me just check Twitter. Good old Twitter. Yeah, Pulp is going to join us. Mint, give me a second. Let me send him the link. Absolutely quality. 1 second, people. Please make sure you're smashing up them like buttons. Them like buttons need to be hit. We want to get the likes over 100. What are the likes on so far? The likes are on 75. Not bad, but there's nearly 200 of you in here. So I want to see the likes on over 100. Let me just explain what the likes do quickly. Live now. What the likes do for us, right, as a channel, yeah, is let me just explain to you. So, you know, when people ask, why should I hit the like button, Daps? The reason you should hit the like button is because YouTube works in this wonderful world called algorithms, right? Where basically whatever people do, the interactions people do, that helps the channel. So hopefully, if you lot are spamming the chat, yeah, with W's right now, yeah, that will help push this video elsewhere. If you lot are spamming that like button, yeah, it's going to push it to more people. So spam up the stream. And Pulpy, that was quick as hell. Fucking hell.
Yeah, some might say I'm not doing much during the day, so there you go.
Well, what are you saying? You good?
Good, mate. You? Yeah, good.
Yeah, not bad, not bad, not bad. Good news coming out of City at the moment. Well, I think good news anyway. But we'll start off. I was just speaking about the news on 3 coaches potentially leaving. How do you feel about that? You seen it?
Yeah. I mean, it's something that happens quite regularly, to be fair, isn't it? I mean, a bit weird, a few going at once, but look, end of the day, cleaning house, something's got to change.
Yeah.
You know,
do you know one thing?
I'm not against it.
One thing I read was that during the season, when contract extensions weren't being offered to multiple members of the coaching staff, it caused confusion. And all these, the season we've had, when you hear things like that, you think, yeah, it does make sense. If you've ultimately got a whole backroom staff that's kind of looking at each other thinking, hold on, we've usually got a contract extension by now.
Yeah.
It's going to change. And we do know that some players are close with certain members of the coaching staff. So it does make sense. But for me, I like the fact that apparently Pep is open to having some new faces challenging him. Because I think
I think that's what it is. It's a refresh for him as well.
Yeah.
Think of who's left over the years. Arteta's gone, Maresca's gone. The other guy that went back to Brazil's gone. They were like 3 prominent figures, I guess, for him. Plus others we probably don't know about. Coaches and stuff that are just like keeping coaches and just like 3rd or 4th assistants, stuff like this.
Yeah.
I think he needs a refresh as much as anything. And plus, I think it's probably down to Viana as well, saying, look, if we're going to do things my way, then we're going to have to do it across the board. Really.
Yeah. I would agree with you a lot. Do you know what? And I think Pep is probably, I know Pep has the right to be one of the most arrogant managers out there, but I think the fact that Tiki's been there as well, and the fact of his relationship with Khaldoon, that he will have had chats with them, and they probably would have found a way to tell him, look, we also think you need to be challenged. We think you need you're taking too much on yourself. They'll probably put it as, we're trying to help you out here.
Yeah.
Let some other people take the strain.
Yeah, paint it as always getting some support. And look, he needs it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like I heard you mention something about the set piece coach. I've been absolutely terrible, right?
Yeah, awful.
Fresh eyes, fresh ideas. And if we are what we all think we are going to have a new style of play for next year, then you kind of need some new people behind that to get that off the ground.
Yeah. Now's the interesting one to see. I know there's going to be rumours now, like Fernandinho, I've already seen. That's been being spoke about for a while. People are going to start looking at who it might be coming in. But the truth is, probably say 3 coaches leave. We're probably not going to know 2 of them are. 2 of them are going to be names that we're like, no idea who that is. Even
I've seen now they've promoted 2 out of the under-21s, right, for the World Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it might just be a case of 2 of these young guys who have been doing wonders at the academy level. Up you go, and and it helps the progression for that as well.
100%. I think the interesting one is who the assistant coach is going to be. That's the one. Will the main assistant coach, the replacement for Lilo, will that be any relevance to Pep? Will Pep say, look, as my assistant coach, I need someone that I can really, really, really rely on, someone that I know?
Sam's weird to say. I think we probably run out of ideas with that.
Yeah.
He must have had about 6, right? 6 assistants.
Yeah. He's had like, I feel like there's one massive one that I can't. Probably the biggest was Arteta, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he was the really tall bloke with a balding hair.
Shit! He was. Yeah. I know you mean.
He went to manage Brazil, right, somewhere, didn't he?
Yeah. Fucking bring him back. He was good.
Yeah,
actually.
it wouldn't surprise me if something like that happened where they bring somebody else. I know Lilo was there before, but bringing somebody else back.
Yeah. I think good.
That's the guy.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. Yeah, he was good. I was just looking for pictures of Lilo, and I saw a picture of him a minute ago. There was someone that sprung to mind. I was just thinking, people were saying Iniesta, but I don't think Iniesta will come as an assistant coach. I think that's.
I won't rule it out. Look at what Arteta did. He came out of nowhere, right?
That would be interesting. Iniesta would be interesting.
Well, I think he wants to go into coaching, right?
Yeah,
and he is kind of a disciple of Pep, isn't he?
Oh, I'll tell you what, that would be a nice one. It'd be interesting to see the ideas. I tell you what, him and Pep together, bouncing ideas off of each other. Fucking hell, that would be mad, wouldn't it?
We'd never lose possession again.
But go and get
94% possession at home.
Go and get Busquets on the coaching staff as well.
Yeah.
This Ferner is defo coming. I hope that Fernandinho is there. I really fucking hope. Tell you what,
I've seen him in Manchester. He's about.
Yeah. I've heard he's about. I heard he was living with Edison for a bit.
I saw him. I was literally walking down the high street in Manchester and bumped into him as I went in the shop, and he was with his son. I knew it was son straight away from all the social media clips, but it was there. That was Christmas time around Christmas time, I think.
I don't know if this one can happen because, according to what everyone tells us, Pep and Yaya aren't the best of friends. So I don't know about that one. But I tell you what, the only thing is, if Iniesta and Fernandinho were on our coaching staff and we have a season next season like this season, I'd be having them on the pitch.
And I still reckon Iniesta would do a job for us.
Iniesta could be able to go.
He's only retired, right? He only retired.
Yeah. I think he would be able to do a job for us. But anyway, right. Let's move on to the window. I can't lie. Someone in the chat was saying he don't think we get Cherki. The Cherki one for me has excited me so much. How about you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm one of those guys that I'm always worried that somebody who's a bit of a dickhead, it doesn't work out. You know, they've been around before. Look at Tarap. Tarap was that sort of player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ravel Morrison's a good example, but obviously Cherki's doing it at a different standard. Have you seen that graph going around with him compared to some of the other players?
No.
Let me find it for you, and I'll tag you in it.
What is it on Twitter?
Yeah, it's mad. It's a mad stat. Let me get it now.
I really need to get my Twitter logged in. I need to get my Twitter logged in on this screen, but I haven't. So I'm gonna have to use Cass's.
I've been tagged by loads of mutants that have just made me notifications gone mad. So I'm trying
to brilliant. What they're tagging you on?
I basically said that Amazon Sports said that Alexander Arnold and Robertson the best fullback pairing the Premier League's ever seen, and I just said no one listed off 4 that were better, and obviously Liverpool fans have nibbled on it.
Right. Okay. Well, do you know what? Right. If I'm being honest, Robertson for me, I would probably put Robertson in the top. We're having this conversation, right? I'm certainly going to say top 5 left backs in Premier League history. Robertson.
He is. Yeah, of course.
I'd put Ashley Cole above him.
Ashley Cole's the best.
Yeah. Hands down. Then at my age, I'd probably say Dennis Irwin was pretty fucking good as well. But I think Robertson on the left. For me, to be honest with you, I'm not having Trent in a right back conversation. Me, I'm not.
No. He's just a great, but he's not as a. There's miles better right backs than him in over the leagues.
Yeah.
I said the better pairings in my lifetime were like Ashley Cole and Lauren at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Ashley Cole, Ivanovic, Slasas,
Yeah.
Lee Dixon, Nigel Winterburn.
Yeah.
Gary Neville and Everett or Irwin were just unbelievable. They won off titles and domination. What Liverpool won? They've won 2 Premier League titles in 35 years or whatever. Come on.
Yeah, and that's the thing that you look at the Robertson and Trent. Like, let's be honest, this season Robertson has not been good. And Trent hasn't been good, right? So this season they won a Premier League, but you're not going, yeah, fucking hell, that was all down to Robertson and Trent. That right? It wasn't. You can give them 1 or 2 seasons together and say that was mint. Apart from that,
the one season where the COVID title this year, they've both been kind of passengers, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, Liverpool do everything better than everyone else, innit? Literally, that's all they always do. They do everything better. So it's.
I sent you that graph, by the way, on Cherki.
Oh, lovely.
It's on the Twitter account.
Fucking hell, that is a.
It's a lot to look at, but up in the top right hand corner.
Hold on, up in the top right corner.
In the aliens category, is De Bruyne and Messi and Ryan Cherki.
Fucking hell!
In terms of like what he's doing on the pitch, in terms of chance creation and goals and stuff, it's mad.
Fucking hell, that's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a quality graph now. I'll see what it's. Yeah, I'm a big fan of him. I think the amount he costs, the amount he's going to cost as well. It's just.
It's a no-brainer for the cost,
and
even if he doesn't work out, you sell him for 65 million in 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
This is the thing. If he comes in and he for that money, 25 million, right? Comes to City, it's instant profit, no matter what, right? Yeah. I think if we don't get him, my worry now is that I do think that Reijnders, Ait-Nouri, a goalkeeper, and probably Morgan Gibbs-White are going to be our priorities.
I think Noel's 5 are.
Well, I want the reason.
I think that's the window done after them 5.
Yeah.
Then it's if somebody leaves who you weren't expecting, then you can probably nibble on someone else. But
I just want us to go and get Cherki done, not focus on the other ones, because I just think the price is so damn good, that we've just got to go and snap their hand off and get it done straight away. Get it done.
And if there's teething pains and it doesn't work out, and like I say, you sell him.
Yeah.
You sell him based off the fact that he's a City player and he's got a decent contract for 60-odd million quid. Someone will have him.
Yeah.
So it's
good.
In terms of the business model, it's hard not to look at that and think that's a W.
Yeah. Nitin, I just see this, that there is no chance they win anything with this level of shit window. When you say they, are you meaning us, as in you as well, right? And are you meaning if we get Ait-Nouri, a replacement goalkeeper if Ederson goes, and let's say that's Garcia, we get. I think we probably are going to get a right back as well, so we get a decent right back. Hold on, they need to get proper right back and winger. Liverpool after completing. Oh, are you meaning Liverpool? I think you might be meaning. Are you meaning Liverpool or are you meaning City? Sorry, because I didn't see your first one. If you're meaning Liverpool, that's interesting. I tell you what, I'm up for a little bit of Nitin hating on Liverpool and not hating on City.
The thing is, this Liverpool verse thing, right, Daps, mate?
Yeah.
The way people are talking it is they signed this world-class player, which arguably it could be, it might be.
Yeah.
But like Liverpool have had some of the best players in their eras in the last 7 years, and they've won 8, 9, 10 years. They've won 2 titles. They've always had good players.
Yeah.
They've had Gerrard, they've had Suarez. They've had Salah for 9 years. Just because they're adding to that doesn't mean that they all of a sudden become the greatest team ever. We've absolutely dominated them with worse players than what we've had now in some positions.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, look, Liverpool at the moment will be favourites to win the Premier League next season. Why? Because they're the champions.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, they're the champions. And let's be honest, yes, Trent is going, but apart from that, the one thing when people said Arteta must win the league with Klopp going and City dropping off, the one thing I did say was, but Liverpool still have the same spine, right? The same spine that has won a Champions League, the same spine that's won a Premier League. They've still got the same spine. So for me, they're automatically favourites. And if they add Wirtz, a left back and a right back to it, they're definitely at this point, they're the favourites. But
so adding a right back, they've had a right back. They've had their best ever right back play for them. So they've always had a right back.
Yeah.
Salah and Van Dijk are eventually going to drop off. So Wirtz going in there might give a bit extra, but he's an unknown, right? He's as good as he is, but he's an unknown. So they should be favourites, but doesn't automatically make them the greatest team in the league just because they've signed somebody we wanted.
Exactly. No, I totally agree with you. Alan. Sorry, he's just super chatted. Alan. The first message I sent to you, mate, said, if you do fancy joining, and had the link in it, you responded saying, yes, back home in 35 minutes. Hello, what time? Home, no. Hello. Well, and then you're in the chat. I've sent you the link, mate. It's the first message I sent you. Anyway, thanks for the super chat, Alan. Appreciate it. I agree with you. Look, I was going to say, I saw someone the other day said, right, this was a mad one. They said, City are not winning the league or the Champions League in the next 5 years, right? And this was the day we didn't get Wirtz. And I said, but hold on a second. If we were to go back to this time last season when we just won the league, right? Yes, we knew that our midfield was getting old, but no one would say, yes, City going to end up fucking struggling to get Champions League next season, right? But in one season, it changes, yeah? Mm-hmm. Why? A lot of injuries and also players like Kyle Walker went into the back end of last season. He was making mistakes, but his pace was still there. Pace was still there back end last season. Yeah. Comes out in August and's fucking a lot slower, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe when players get older, when they have a period of 2 months off, it really fucking the bigger impact, right?
Kicking right, yeah.
And I think you are right. Like Liverpool fans will tell you that Van Dijk can continue to play at the level he is playing at for another 3-4 seasons, right? And
until he can't.
And but when they say, yeah, it will be fine for another 3-4 seasons, and Salah, it'll be fine for another 3-4 seasons, I just say okay, because there's a lot of Walker looked fucking mint, and then all of a sudden drops off. It happens. Like when you get old, it hits you like that all of a sudden out of nowhere. Hello, Alan.
Hi guys, sorry about that. I was at South Melbourne Market having a fish restaurant with Dave. And
good old Dave. Dave is becoming a legend of streams. The face that we never see.
Well, Dave, he's a massive City fan.
I know he is. You told me once or twice, and you've told me that as well. And let me guess, where's he from? Where's he from?
Hey,
he doesn't exist, does he? Doesn't exist.
He's there. He's from Whitefield. He's from Whitefield.
It's from Dave from Whitefield. Hey, he's a season ticket holder. Hey, it's like, has anyone ever seen Alan Partridge? Dan! He can't hear me. Dan!
What are you doing in there?
Yeah. We locked him away for the night. Didsbury Dave. Anyway, you have a good time? What fish did you have?
I had, believe it or not, the Dave was eating with his mate of his, and he was eating fish, oysters, and all that kind of crap. And
oysters. I hate oysters.
I had a stew. It was oxtail stew. It was very nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, nice.
But I've had oxtail stew for a long, long time. It was very, very nice.
But I hate oysters. Can't stand them. Disgusting.
I love them. My brother-in-law's brother has got an oyster farm on the east coast of Tasmania in a place called Coles Bay. It's very nice.
Nah, oysters disgusting. Ugh, slimy.
I went out to I was in LA last couple of years ago for work in Santa Monica, and went to one of the most expensive fish restaurants out there, and they're bringing out everything, just big things up there with fish, and I had a burger.
Big fish, and
I had a burger. I had a burger, and the manager said, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Mate, I ain't eating that stuff."
I like fish. I'm a big fish fan. I literally live on prawns. Absolutely love prawns. It's just oysters are just slimy and horrible. Oysters and
I like that. I love oysters. Fresh oysters, tremendous.
Right, Nadir saying thank you for the super chat. First of all, would love Cherki. Gives Nasri vibes. Rivals are just hating because they couldn't for 7 years. Van Dijk and Salah can turn shit quick. Fast time is unpredictable. Can turn to shit quick father time. I get it. Yeah, appreciate the super chat. It can happen so quickly. So when people say, and look, I am one of them, to be honest with you.
Exist. Here's Dave. Dave.
Hello, Dave.
You can see.
So you do exist. You exist, yeah?
Yeah. Look at that. Look at this tattoo. The treble. Look.
Brilliant. Mint. Quality. That is a decent tattoo, actually. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Well, right. So I want Cherki. I think we need to get it done quickly, though. Alan don't want Cherki, by the way, Pulpy, because Alan's watched Lyon loads, right?
I did some research today, actually.
Oh,
his figures are very good, but he's also not very good. His discipline is pretty poor.
Yeah, explain it. Do you know what, Alan? It's brilliant that we've got a specialist like you on in this, because
he's up to no good, mate. Pep hates people
and it's good that we've got you on, someone that's in the know. So can you explain to us, when people say he's up to no good and he's got an attitude problem, can you give us an insight on what exactly that means?
Arguing with officials at the club, right? Turning up to training late,
right?
Also being in nightclubs till about 3 a.m.
Get him City now. Get him City.
No, I know.
Get him City.
Yeah, he's had arguments with officials at the club and the coaches. He's Pep hates. He's a bit of a maverick in the way he plays. So he's got that side, the dark side to him as well. So Pep hates players like that. You know that, and I know that. And he's a number 10, not a number 8.
No shit, Sherlock. What was your first clue?
Well, we've got 2 of them already.
No, but right. If his name was John Smith, you'd be having him, and we know it, Alan.
Mate, no, it's not being English, mate.
It is.
It's not.
So
it's
you
not.
hold on. So you want Morgan Gibbs-White for 75 million over Cherki?
I want someone that's going to perform every week and not go missing.
So why do you want Morgan Gibbs-White then? So why do you want Morgan Gibbs-White then? Because he don't perform every week.
Oh God! Well, at least he's going to turn up, unlike this guy.
So you still don't want Cherki?
Well, I think he's a number 10. We've got 2 already. Where's he going to play? Where's Foden going to play? Where's Oscar going to play?
All right, Alan. Being honest with yourself, do you want to go into next season relying on Phil Foden?
Not particularly, because he's not well.
Exactly. Like we can't. Yeah. I don't think Phil Foden wants to go into next season relying on Phil Foden. He don't need that pressure neither. I think that's probably part of the catalyst of where we are. That he got that award. We could look at that award that he got.
Do you agree?
The catalyst for this?
Hang on. Do you agree that Pep hates ego players?
Me agreeing with Pep for once, doesn't mean that it's the right thing, because Pep's even come out literally, I think Pep came out yesterday, the day before, and said he's got quite a few things wrong this season. So not everything can be about, Pep, the way Pep likes to do things. Look, I said this yesterday. We will not sign a player without doing proper due diligence on a player. That's what we do. Remember the talks of how we went and checked fucking Gabriel Jesus's homework books from year 5 or something, right? That we will be doing that. And I think if we are in for Cherki, that tells us the club have gone out and done their research on it. Not kind of listen to what Bob from down the pub have said, or any rivals have said about, oh, Cherki's got an attitude, when you know that those rivals actually wanted him 2 weeks ago, but now that they've got someone else, they're going, yeah, good job we avoided Cherki. I think City will go and do proper due diligence, right? Because look, they will probably say, when someone's gone to Pep and said, what are you saying on Cherki? He has probably said, well, I've heard a few rumours. What's he like? And they've said, yeah, we've gone and spoke to X, Y, and Z. And it doesn't seem like someone was saying the other day, I think it was on yesterday's show, there was someone in the chat who said one of his best mates is a Lyon fan, French, and he spoke to someone that is in and around the club and said all of it is absolute complete bullshit. And I hope so. And the other thing is, you think about it with Lyon, and the comments were saying this yesterday, a lot of people, a lot of players that come out of Lyon seem to be tagged with this bad attitude. It seems to be a Lyon thing, right? And at that point, you think, I hate to say it, but is there some sort of agenda here against Lyon and the type of players, and maybe...
I don't know.
South of France, North African players, let's just tag them with a certain brush. Because it does seem like it a little bit to me, especially when you start seeing the players that have come out of there. Most of them are from North African descent, and they get tagged with, they've got an attitude problem. And that's where the more you see, you just think, I want to take this with a pinch of salt until I actually hear it.
Got labelled with that early doors.
Yeah.
Sure, he got it.
Mate, Bruno Gomes got labelled it. Yeah. There's been so many players that have come out of Lyon that have been labelled with it, and you just think, seems like a bit of an agenda, this. And I'm not saying from you, Alan, by the way. I'm saying from the media that they're just tagging people.
Well, I spent lunchtime today. I went out and did some research on him, and that's what it was saying. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, for me, I think the same for you, Poppy. It's the price. Fucking the price is. It's
perfect.
You take the risk.
Doesn't work out. You sell him on for 3 times the profit, and then you just say, "Well, we tried."
Yeah,
you know.
And let's be honest, right? Samir Nasri did have some attitude problems, right? He did, yeah. However, did that impact us? No. Didn't impact us at all. We fucking won the league with him. So, I think players can have, and also he's young as well. I had a fucking mad attitude problem when I was young. I might still have one now, to be fair. But yeah, so
is he 21?
Yeah.
He's only 21, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's still massively immature, and he's probably got a shitload of money to go with it.
100%.
Things change when you sign for City. Things change massively.
100%, 100%. A couple more super chats. JS, appreciate the super chat saying, imagination and unpredictability breaks the low blocks. For the love of God, please don't get Pep coach that out for Cherki. Yeah, I agree. Letting ball. Do you know what? That United game for me, yeah, Lyon went into that game. They weren't in a great position, but that Cherki, just every single chance they seem to come through him. And I do agree with you. I don't want Pep to coach out of him because the way he plays, I like the way he plays now, and I think it would be a bit of a breath of fresh air for us. I tell you what, I'm not gonna lie, Rodri, Reijnders, Cherki, I'm having that midfield all day long. Next super chat was from Nadir again, saying, needed June 1st. Here we go. Hope we get our deals done quick so we can implement our style. Foden will play right wing Alan. Marmoush, Foden, Cherki is fluid. Yeah, see.
That's another point. Do you think we'll get our deals done quickly?
I think we'll get a few of them done quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
What do you think, Paul?
I think you'll get 2 in. I think you'll probably see 2.
Yeah.
2 in this first window, just for pure, just an early pre-season for them. I'd say Reijnders and Gibbs White will be the first 2 through the door because
so Gibbs White's
going to need the time to adapt. Yeah,
Gibbs White's
Gibbs White. I've heard. I saw yesterday Arsenal are in on the Morgan Gibbs White. Are interested in Morgan Gibbs White now. I could see that being something put in the media by an agent or by Nottingham Forest to try and get more money because
it's from Arsenal Academy, isn't he? He's an Arsenal Academy graduate, isn't he?
Nah,
Matt Gibbs White is.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear I did research.
Wolves paid a lot of money for him from Arsenal.
Oh, he went Wolves from Arsenal, right? Yeah. Okay, I thought he'd come up through Wolves' fucking academy.
No,
he didn't.
They paid 30 million for him or something.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, they paid a lot of money for him.
But no, I did hear that City are now hearing that Forest are going to want quite a bit, and City going, we'll walk away if it's that much money. And I think that's a good place to be. We can't be having anyone going. And
well,
I think
it's their own who tries it on, doesn't he?
Yeah. But no, I tell you what, with that last super chat playing Foden on the right, I think that is when you start looking at it, and this is where we need to get our squad back to, is when you're looking at, I think we're going to get fullbacks and we're going to be playing more with the fullbacks giving the width. That then allows whether it be Marmoush and Foden, whether it be Marmoush and Bob, whether it be Marmoush and Savinho, whether it be Marmoush and Echeverri, whether it be Echeverri and Savinho, but ultimately all these players that could potentially play kind of and as an inside forward, just behind Haaland, kind of like 10-stroke inside forward. And then you let Cherki, Rodri and Reijnders or Morgan Gibbs White or Nico Gonzalez, you let them lot do the work in the middle of the park. I think that's how we're going to play. I think there is a chance Doku leaves this summer, the more I think about it.
I don't think so, purely because it's nice to have options.
Yeah, I hear it.
The way we think we're going to set up is if we get any fullback left or right, then whoever's on that right-hand side as a winger or left-hand side as a winger with the attacking fullback would probably be your inside forward. So that'd be a Marmoush. So they would be having an overlapper. They can come inside, and that's where you generate the width on one side, and on the other side would be a direct winger. So that's your.
You still think we'll play with one direct winger, right?
I think we'll play with one direct winger and one absolutely alpha level fullback, and that's where you get your width from. And if it's going to be Marmoush on one side, that'll be Ait-Nouri, and it could even be like whoever's doing on the right hand side. So let's say Livramento and maybe a Savio or a Foden tucked in when they come inside, sort of thing. I don't think we're going to go for the old two fullbacks up and down all day. Those days.
What you think? It's interesting. Maybe one on either side. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Paul Pierce, I'll tell you what. I do like the idea of this this Wolves fullback.
Oh yeah, he's the other one. We were going to speak on. Sorry, just before we move on to him though, 2 more super chats. Firstly, your good friend Pat saying Alan wants Nigel Farage in attack.
Too right.
And then serious question, right? Serious question: would you sell Nunes.
Nunes! Mate, it's been alright, you know. It's been fucking great today. Couldn't have man of the match, though.
Your face tells me you would as well. There.
Mate, I was smashed. I was absolutely smashed. Sorry, 1 second, door. Talk amongst yourself, friends. Answer the question.
Would you sell him, Al?
I, to be honest with you, mate, I want two solid fullbacks who are fullbacks. They're signed. Right? Whether you keep Nunes or not as a backup, I don't know.
I think he's the perfect utility player to have as a backup. And he's good for squad morale and balance. You need those sort of players who are happy just to swallow it and not play every week.
Yeah.
And still be able to play well. You know, I know he drops a bollock here and there, but who doesn't? They all do it. We've all done it all season. Just been magnified in certain games.
We have done us. But
yeah. So
is he good enough to be part of the squad to win as the title?
Yes. Yeah, because we don't remember we had Zinchenko at left back and won a title. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think, I think selling him would be a mistake. However, if the money's right and it could be a mate weight towards, I don't know, say there's rumours about Gibbs White and they want Nunes. You know, I wouldn't be against the sale if it meant we get one of our other targets.
Yeah,
I think with Nunes he's easily replaceable with what we paid for him. So if you was to sell him, if you get 45 mil for him, you put that towards another right back, and you forget that Nunes ever played for us.
I think we cannot replace him. We cannot replace him. We cannot replace him. No, we can replace him. I'm the same as you. Well, I was going to argue with you at first and say, I really don't want to sell Nunes at the moment. For me, we've got no fullbacks at the moment.
Like I said to Pulpy there, I just want to sign two fullbacks who are fullbacks, good ones.
Yeah. I hear you. But even if you sign two fullbacks, that still doesn't mean I want to sell Nunes, because there's no harm in actually having four fullbacks at the club. There's no harm in having three fullbacks.
I'm not saying
even
that.
More so a fullback like that. Do you know what? Someone made a good point. Nunes probably this season put in our best crosses.
Yeah, it was our best. It was when he played up. It was our best left winger this season.
Yeah.
You know, he does provide more than just a second choice right back, right? I know people wanted to be this midfielder and everything they thought he was, but I said to Alan, you need players like this who are willing to train every week, put it in, and then sit on the bench and not moan. And then when you do play, you put an effort in and you try and stand out. And he don't. Let's have it right. I doubt he's ever played right back in his life before he played this season. So considering that,
even played.
He has improved. He has.
Of course. He has. Yeah. So. Yeah. In that respect, that's the way to keep him, is the fact that he has adapted and he is versatile. And those sort of players are super valuable to a squad, to a manager like Pep, who needs players who can do more than one position.
Would you keep Doku or not?
I'd keep Doku as well. Off the bench.
One of them, if he was to be sold, I wouldn't be worried. I wouldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
But I'd also know that if he went to another team that got the best out of him, it'd be pretty shit to watch him go. Bit like
what I will say is we have to have a certain amount of homegrown players in the squad. And out of the players that we talked about over the last few weeks that could go, there's one or two homegrown players in there. It might not be a good idea just to get rid of them.
Right, okay. But in the here and now, right now, we're fine, right? If Cherki comes in, he's. I saw someone mention his comments, because of his age, he wouldn't take up a homegrown space. I think that's why. I don't think certain players are like. I can't see a world where we managed to shift John Stones. I don't see that.
The thing is, mate, I find it very hard to say goodbye to Stones, because when he's fit, he's our best. When he's fit, he comes straight back in and puts in a shift. But I think it's not even that. For me, it's more of a case of I don't see where someone pays the wage that he wants. Or because ultimately he's on a very nice wage at City, right? He knows if he spends one more and for a transfer to happen, right? Because he's still got a year left, someone will have to pay us something. And also, he'll have to agree that he wants to go.
Otherwise, he'll stay. And I think it's a hard one as well.
I think the only club he'd go to would be Everton, right? In a new stadium. But he'd have to take a massive fucking wage.
And I think he'd probably go, do you know what, I'll wait a year and go there next season.
Yeah.
I mean, and it wouldn't change my opinion on him because we've offered him a wage. He's on the contract he's on, and he'll just say nah. And the thing is, he will be able to come in and do a shift. I just think it'll be hard to move him on. The English quota is a thing. I've always said this with the Morgan Gibbs White thing. English quota is a thing, but at this point, we haven't had anyone leave right now that affects the English quota. So we don't need anyone to come in to hit the English quota. Now, if a player leaves, yeah, cool. We've then got to consider that, but we're not there yet, are we? So, and by the way, the players that we're being, well, we do know. No, we do know, Alan. We do know because we know right now we're hitting the English quota. Otherwise,
yeah. So who's leaving? Who's definitely leaving?
No, that's what. Yeah, so he don't affect the quota.
Yeah.
No one else is definitely leaving yet. We haven't been told anyone else is definitely leaving yet. That's the thing. So we only have to consider that once a player leaves. Now, I tell you what, let's move on to just quickly. We are going to talk on Ait-Nouri, but Jack Grealish, right? So Jack Grealish for me is one that is probably the most likely to be leaving this summer. But I think it's also it's going to be, we're not going to know on the Jack Grealish one for a while, I think, because there's so many, firstly, the wage he is on, yeah. If we loan him to any Premier League team, we're probably going to have to pay half his wage, right? Now,
we'll have to do that if he goes to anyone in Europe as well.
Agreed. But what I was going to say there was that you don't mind paying half of someone's wage if they're not fucking taking 6 points off of you a season potentially, right? And competing for places in a league that you want. If we, as an example, I saw he got linked to Man United, right? City are not going to pay half his wage at Man United. There's no way Manchester City are going to do that. No, the backlash will be way too much that it just won't happen.
How long has he got left in his contract? 2 years.
2 years. 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. Might be 3. Now it'll be 2 years. So 2 years. Would Nottingham Forest, would we pay half his wage at Nottingham Forest? And by the way, this is because I'm thinking if he leaves English quota, so we need someone. If he leaves, we then need an English player to come in, right?
Well, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you?
So then you're thinking, okay, well, swap. If we really want Morgan Gibbs White that much, a swap deal for Morgan Gibbs White.
It sounds like Pep wants him, and Pep, we've got to trust Pep, haven't we?
In some things, yes. Can't be all about Pep, Allen. I know where you go about with this, Cherki. Yeah, we can't get Cherki. But no, I don't know. It's look, the homegrown thing is an interesting one. I don't want us to miss out on certain targets because of homegrown for me. There's one more super chat just came in as well. We'll read that one, then we'll move on to the other one that excites me. There was some leaked text from John Texter. Sorry, is that name real? Or is this
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. So there was some leaked text from John the Texter. Fucking hell. Saying that Cherki is a good kid. Some people just complain for the sake of complaining. We are being linked to great players. It's just about getting them in. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. And agree the super chat. Now, talking of great players, actually, before we move on to that, nearly 400 of you in here, 206 likes. Not bad. If you could just give it a little like. Anyone that hasn't hit the like button so far. Now, Ait-Nouri for me as a left back, probably my number one target, to be fair.
Well, he's a good player.
Polpy, what's your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I was with LB a couple of times and talked about him, and I can't believe he was only 23.
Yeah,
looks like he's about 32, doesn't he? He looks like he's had a seasoned career already.
Looks like David James, you know.
Yeah. Yes, I think he's a great player, and I think he's what we're dying out to have.
Yeah.
somebody who's willing to go forward and take people on and gives us that natural width with something we don't have and we've not had forever.
Yeah.
You know, my personal choice would have been Robinson at Fulham. I just think he is an all-round better player in terms of defensive side of stuff. You know, and he's also homegrown as well, to be fair, Robinson. So that's what
we haven't been linked with him once, though, have we?
No, that's the
age thing.
I find that so weird that nobody has been linked with him.
Well, Liverpool were. I think around January, February time, it came out that Robinson. I'm pretty certain it was Robinson that came out around January and February and said he's going to be moving on in the summer.
Yeah,
right?
So I don't know what's going on there.
Liverpool were linked with him, and then it's just all gone quiet. And no one seems to be. I don't know if it's the age thing.
It's 26, right? 26, 27. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I'd try to prefer Robinson as a player, but
I hear you on the all-round thing. I hear you on the all-round thing. I think he's a better defender.
That's just going off the way Pep's liked. We've not had a fullback like Ait-Nouri under Pep.
Yeah.
The closest thing we had to that was kind of Mendy, but I think that would to me would come back to the fact that I think he wants to give it another go with a decent fullback. But then again, I wouldn't be against that Robinson being that because he's such a good player going forward as well. So if it's Ait-Nouri, then obviously I'll be well up for that because he's
same. And you're a fan of him, are you, Alan?
I'm not really about pulping. At the end of the day, I thought Robinson was a very good option to look at.
I bet you did.
Well, no, seriously. But at the end of the day, you know, he no big teams come in for him.
Yeah,
and I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I can't believe. There's got to be a reason why they haven't.
I think he's a
good player. Hey?
Isn't Alphonso Davies leaving Bayern Munich on a free transfer?
Well, I'll tell you what.
He might be enough
to look at. He's a good player. Him.
I think he's destined for Real Madrid, right? But
I think I'm pretty certain you're right, and I'm pretty certain Madrid. I'm sure it was several months ago. I saw that it was a done deal for him to Real Madrid. Yeah. What? So you're thinking Bayern Robinson?
I mean, someone said he's signing a new contract. I don't know if that's true or not. I can't say I noticed, but
he's a good player, though. He's a good player.
He's a really good player, Robinson. And if you look at his defensive stats on this season, in terms of his most tackles, most interceptions, he's mad on his defensive stats, and he's got like 10 or 11 assists this season as a left back.
Yeah.
Plays for Fulham. He's just gone under the radar. So yeah.
Now they're saying that David signed a new 5-year contract to Bayern.
Well, that rules out. But Robinson will move somewhere.
The Robinson one's interesting. It is interesting because he does seem, for me, Robinson. He seems like a Liverpool signing, but I do get Liverpool probably looked at the age because look, Liverpool. It seems like Liverpool are going to spend big this summer, but I don't believe that like Liverpool spending big this summer will not make me think right. Liverpool are going to spend big every summer. It will be. Liverpool
batches, don't they? Batch signings.
Yeah. So
Liverpool have already got a good side, so they don't need a lot of transfers. Really.
No. But so I'd have Robinson. I hear you, but I think with everyone, it's just they're trying to build a squad for the next 5 years, and I think that's probably
the age profile.
The age profiles. Yeah. And then on the right. Because I think we get Ait-Nouri done quickly. By the way, as well, I think we do.
He's got 2 years left, hasn't he? And they only signed him for a little bit, so they'll make pure profit on that. And Wolves are a selling club. They're going to get rid of 2 or 3 players every year, and somehow manage to stay up. Yeah. So if they get 40, 50 million for him, I think they'll just shake their hands and say, you know what, we've developed him for nothing. Pure profit.
I think we can get it done as well because we do have a working relationship with Wolves.
Yeah,
from the Nunes and it was Doyle that went there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think there's been 1 or 2 others as well. So I think we'll be able to get that one done quite quickly. On the right-hand side, there's been rumours to Livramento. Can either of you two see this happening, though? Because look, I would love Livramento. Like, if we got Ait-Nouri on the left and Livramento on the right, then for me, that's a fucking solid. Already, without moving on to the midfielders, I'm going, that's 2 fucking great signings. Probably two of my top signings for left.
I can't see Newcastle selling him.
No, me neither.
Well, you see, on that, Alan, I've got a couple of friends who are Newcastle fans, and one of them's quite a friend, not speak to her quite a bit, but I asked her about the possibility of Livramento leaving, because if they need to generate money on the PSR side of stuff, they need to generate income. Right? They still need to keep showing massive incomes to keep up the sponsorship to get that level. Now, if you're looking at who they've got Isak, Guimaraes, Joe Linton, Tonali, Livramento, Gordon. These are massive assets on there. If you look at who's the most dispensable out of the five, can you afford to lose a right back? Most teams would. So I'm saying if they I think they paid 40 million for him, right? And he's been there 3 years. He's got 2 years left. If you're chucking 60, 70 million at that, they're making massive profit on something.
Yeah.
And it's replaceable. So I just feel like of all the ones that you could pluck at, if it means selling Livramento to keep hold of Isak or Guimaraes, I think they'll do that every day of the week. I think that's.
I'll tell you what. I was talking to my mate Julian from Bury. He season ticket on Leeds United. He goes on away watching him, and he was having a go. So all these FFPs are costing us. I went, Jules, you're the one. You, Liverpool, and Arsenal are the ones that invented this PSR shit.
Yeah, of course they are.
Yeah. And he went, I didn't think of it that way. So you're the one that's trying to stop City, Newcastle, and Chelsea.
Yeah, they're fucked themselves. Money. They're fucked themselves.
And, says, and your new rule that you invented is going to bite you up the arse.
It's holding them all back. Yeah.
But the thing is, that's why all of a sudden they'll become open to the rules that we're suggesting now and go.
They want to change it because it means they can. Yeah, that's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
I think of all the ones to sell Newcastle, if they had to sell somebody just to show that income as a tangible thing, I think, for 70 million, I think it might sound like a lot. Everyone's like, oh my God, 70 million for a right back. What is he, 22?
What rules are we suggesting?
Oh, I don't know, Alan. I'm not in there, but City are saying about different rules. We know that. That's why when the Premier League are trying to push through these new rules, City are the ones fighting them, saying no, don't let.
Yeah, they want that share of the loans.
Yeah,
so you're not basically getting free money.
I don't want to give too much shit about any of that to know the rules and look into it, but City are trying to suggest some rules that are ultimately fairer for teams like Newcastle. Because to be honest with you, we are at a point now where a rule change to us doesn't matter too much because we're good, but. Yeah, we're kind of saying now because ultimately we are in the shits we're in with 115 because of crap rules, right? And we're saying let's stop trying to rush through. Let's stop the Premier League rushing through rules that certain clubs want, and let's all actually sit down and fucking together take our time to come up with a decent set of rules that actually doesn't break an actual law in the country. Right? If we don't get for me, right. Actually, let me ask Alan this question. Because you're bothered about the homegrown quota.
Well, we've got to have it. We
Yeah. Well, and we do have it at the moment. But if Jack Grealish leaves, so we need one English player, one homegrown player, shall I say?
Yeah.
And you have the choice of Morgan Gibbs-White at 75 million or Livramento at 70 million. Which one you have him?
Oh, difficult one. I think Morgan Gibbs-White.
I knew you were going to say that. I'm having Livramento every day.
I'm the biggest. I'm probably getting a name as being the biggest defender of Morgan Gibbs-White out there right now on the City social stuff. But if it was a choice, they both, I'd take Livramento purely for the fact that you get 10 years out of Livramento for 70 million. It's going to be one of those 10-year signings.
How old is Morgan Gibbs-White?
26. 25, 20. He's about to be 26, I think.
Yeah.
So in terms of longevity and value for the club, I don't care if he's paid 90 million for Livramento. You get him at 22 years old, he stays till he's 34. That's 12 years for 90 million, and what we're going to get through that time, then I see the value more being in that, but I still take Gibbs-White as well.
I think Livramento is a quality player.
Well, he's going to be England's right back for the next decade. He's that sort of player, isn't he? He's
quality, man. He's quality. He's absolutely quality. That's why I just think as well with the fact that, like last season, maybe they had Trippier and they played Livramento. I think they played him a bit on the left, bit on the right, and he was a bit of a bit part player for him. With Trippier dropping off now, I just think I can't see him selling him. I tell you what, if we get Livramento
Oh, we've had it off, yeah.
Had it off.
He can play both fullbacks as well.
Yeah, he can. He can play on both sides. Yeah.
He offers value in more than just one position.
Yeah. If we don't get Livramento right, look, we haven't seen Kuzanov for a while. By the way, Crypto, I presume you just watched Match of the Day. Firstly, you're saying we spent 200 million in January. We didn't spend 200 million. I think we spent 165. Secondly, to say Marmoush is the only good one, you haven't seen Nico Gonzalez play. You haven't seen Kuzanov, and Vitor Hayes is one for the future. Look, when you
Dave, do you want Livramento from Newcastle?
Fucking hell, go on, Dave.
From Newcastle, fullback. Why does it know?
There we go. He's indifferent.
There's better options, he says. There's better options.
Who?
Like who?
Well, I've not probably thought about it, mate.
He's trying to fucking relax. There's a reason why he doesn't come on podcast, because he's trying to relax, all right? He's not trying to think about City right backs. He's probably taking a shit.
He's not. He's eating crisps.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
Doritos he's eating.
But I would say if we don't get Livramento, it is interesting to see if Pep would consider Kuzanov there, kind of. And I know he hasn't played him there really. I think he played him there against Real Madrid, but you know, he's only just joined the club, so he does need some time. But Kuzanov's an option. The other option is, of course, Nunes. And I'm not saying it's ideal, but
I think if you don't sign a big dog at right back, you're going to see the exact same we've got at right back now. That'll be Kanji, Lewis, and Nunes.
Yeah, and maybe Kuzanov. I do think with Nunes that as a central midfielder that's played left, that started the season playing left wing, and then all of a sudden got thrown in at right wing, and the speed that he actually has picked up, give him a summer training and playing a bit more in in the Club World Cup. He's learning to do the job as a right back pretty fucking well, right? And by the way, this is not my ideal. My ideal would be Livramento. If not Livramento, Cambiasso. But I won't be fucking throwing my toys out of the pram if we don't get a right back. As long as we get a left back, as long as we get 2 8s, and if we get a 10, I ain't going to throw my toys out the pram if we don't get a right back at all. No, not at all. Not at all. I was just going to have a quick butcher's hook on, God, it's getting hot down here. Where, is it nice up there, Pulpy?
No, it's grim, mate. Absolutely grim.
Is it? Oh, it's fucking lovely down here, you know. Just wanted to have a quick look on Twitter to see if there was anything popping up this morning. Pulpy, you seen anything?
No, not really. Just know that it's just another day of transfer rumours, and I'm just sick of it. If I'm honest with you, I can't deal with it.
I agree with it.
I can't deal with it. I just can't. The season's. This has been going on since fucking March.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to wake up and it be like, here we go, done. That's done. Next one done. And
I hear you. I hear you.
Time off.
Do you know the other thing I don't like? Right, is when we get linked with players. Like, so as an example, we got linked with Wirtz. We didn't get Wirtz. All right, I'm pissed off, but having our fan base moan that we've been embarrassed, right? It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace. Is one of the most mental things I've ever heard, right? The fact that Florian Wirtz decided to join the Premier League champions, who have 6 Champions Leagues, right? And the most league titles in England. With Man United. Wait, is it with Man United or have they overtaken them?
They've got 20, don't they?
Right, so
Liverpool will take them.
Huh?
Liverpool will overtake them now.
No, they haven't.
With all the trophies.
On all trophies, but on leagues. So for us to come out and say it's fucking embarrassing for Wirtz to join them over us, I think, fucking hell, we're becoming way too entitled here.
I know, yeah.
Like, they're the Premier League champions and they've got the most trophies in England, right? And we're going, nah, that's embarrassing. That I think, come on, give your head a wobble here. That is not embarrassing. You have to be realistic.
The thing is, though, it's happened with Wirtz. It'll happen again, and people just going to have to accept it. It's happened before, Wirtz. It's happened with Wirtz. Bellingham didn't want to go. Rice didn't want to go. You go further back, you look at Sanchez. Eden Hazard didn't want to go.
Yeah.
Kaká didn't want to go. You know what I mean? It goes back a long, long way. In the future, it'll be happening again. It'll happen again. So it's just life. We just
and that is life.
We get our own type of players.
And we know this when we decide to support a club, right?
Yeah.
I presume no one did. I would presume that everyone that supports Manchester City, right, didn't decide I'm going to support Manchester City because they get every target they go for. That can't be your reason for supporting a club. Surely,
that's Real Madrid.
Yeah?
That's the reason anybody supports Real Madrid.
Yeah. Well, I had no choice.
Spanish, yeah.
I had no choice. My father bashed it into me that I support City. I was 5 years of age.
Hold on. Your father bashed it into you. What? Your father actually? What? So you didn't want to support? Hold on. No, Alan. So you didn't want to support City. Your dad had to beat it into you. You just said that. Listen, I support City because of my dad. My dad didn't once have to hit me to support City.
No, I didn't. You know,
Are you a red at birth, you bastard?
No, mate. There's only one thing that's red in my house, and that's a newspaper, and that's the way it's staying.
Do you know what? Actually, I haven't got it on yet, but my daughter bought me a bracelet back from Turkey, a blue bracelet, right? And she said that the guy in the shop showed her loads, and there was only one sky blue one, and a woman came and picked it up. And was like ringing someone, going, "Oh, there's this blue one. What do you think?" And she said, "I was giving her evils, thinking you need to put that down." She goes, "Because the only other ones were like really dark blue," and showed me the color, which was Chelsea. She goes, "Or red," and she said, "And I might have got you the dark blue one because it's still blue." She said, "But I knew I can't get you a red one." I said, "No, never. Go and get me a different present. You can't get me a red." Yeah. Actually, a red paper. What? So you read The Sun and the Mirror?
No, we don't get that over here, mate. I'm in Melbourne.
No,
the Sport.
Yeah. So what paper's red?
No, over here. There's no red newspaper in.
All right. So what paper is red in England? You're digging yourself a hole here, Alan.
Daily Mirror, and it's Liverpool.
So you were Liverpool?
No chance.
No. Do you know what? But that this for me, just get me Cherki Reijnders. Reijnders is done. Ait-Nouri is done. Do you think? I think Reijnders gets done for me.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing at that, Alan? Or was it a comment?
No, I'm just laughing at what you said before.
I think, right, the transfer window opens officially on the 1st, right?
Yeah.
Which is...
Sunday.
Is it Sunday?
My birthday. Yeah, Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. There we go then. Hold on.
Happy birthday, mate. Happy birthday.
Yeah, well, it's not Sunday yet, Alan.
I'm not allowed to see him, am I?
Then tweet him.
Happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday for Sunday. But
exactly.
Would you how can the transfer window open on a Sunday?
It's a special window in it.
Yeah. What, banks can open in that?
It opens and shuts and opens again, and it's twice this.
Yeah. I don't know if business can be done. But either way, for me, I think we do need the fact that it's being opened up kind of just for us, Chelsea and a few other teams. I think we do need to make the most of it. I agree with you. Reijnders is the single most important signing for us this summer, even more so than Wirtz was. I agree with you on that. I actually genuinely do agree with you. Alan, I hear what you're saying about we've got players that can do the 10 role. I think getting one or two upgrades on the 8s we currently have is more important than getting a 10. I do agree with that.
Do you think Bernardo will go? I don't, because again, I think, am I right? He's got a year left on his contract. Yeah, he'll go free to Benfica.
I think that. However, I can't help but say the way Haaland seemed to be pushing him towards the fans was a bit intriguing.
They do pick on him jokingly, don't they? I think the players. They've always played around with him a bit.
Didn't look but Haaland's face wasn't laughing when he did it. Haaland kind of looked at him and look, I don't think in my head he ain't going, but especially because of his age, I think, and actually the way Bernardo has performed when he's been playing in a pivot and not playing on the wing, the back end of this season, I'd still have him as a player
all day long. He's too useful, mate. You can play in a number of positions and still do a decent job.
Yeah, but I can't act like I didn't see. It was a bit weird the way Haaland was saying to Bernardo, "You go and you know what? You're right. He could have just thought, I tell you what, De Bruyne's had his time now. Bernardo, you go and have a go, so the rest of us can have a fucking go as well." And he was just sending Bernardo first, but it did look a bit like you need to go and say goodbye too. It did look a bit like that to me.
Well, I'd like to be able to say goodbye to him next season when he's going back home, back to Benfica.
Yeah, I think Bernardo does deserve a proper send-off.
Yeah, all day long. All day long.
How long has he been there? Is it 2016?
I think 8 years he's been here.
It came in
He came at the end of.
He'll do 9 years, yeah. One of them, he'll do his 9 years, he'll get his flowers on the way out, and that's it. Yeah. There's no value in selling him, really. There's no, you lose a lot of experience. Everyone hates him for whatever reasons they have, but we've just lost De Bruyne. You know what I mean?
You know what? I can't help but say, with an element of our fan base, right? They only appreciate wingers. It seems like they only appreciate and only want let me go one step further. They only want advanced players, right? And if you are a player like that is having a bad season in whenever you advance, then you get slander, right? So Bernardo's getting slander. But when Bernardo's played in a deeper role, no one wants to give him his flowers. Because I will agree, Bernardo's not looking the same as he used to look when he used to pop up on the right with Mahrez by him and Walker overlapping. He's not looking the same, yeah? But none of us would look the fucking same. Secondly, Bernardo has got older, yeah? But Bernardo this season, and especially when it mattered, as usual, business end of the season, when he was dropping back and playing in a deep role, he was one of our best players on the pitch again.
I totally agree with you. And let's be honest with people having a go at our forward players. This season, at some point, every one of those players you should have been bollocks because they were shy.
Yeah, every single one.
Every single one of them. You know,
every player's had a bad game at City this season. Every single player at City has had. And if you can tell me a player that hasn't had a bad game,
yeah, absolutely.
I can't think of one.
I don't want to say Marmoush is the only one that's kind of away from any criticism. Because he's the other one that's coming in all right in every single game.
Yeah, Marmoush.
He might not have scored, but he missed a penalty in the FA Cup final, but in the league, he's been all right.
Yeah, no, Marmoush has been quality.
Who's the player of the season, right? So everyone's going to say Gvardiol, right? He's going to be the player of the year this year. Most likely to be player of the year.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, there was a game, there was like 6 games in a row where he was absolutely shocking.
Yeah. He had a drop off, 100%. I actually think this one really splits heads. I think Kovacic is up there with one of our best players this season.
People don't want to win.
Oh yeah,
it's and it's literally proven with the fact that before Rodri came back from it. Remember the first however many games of the season, we won every game. Kovacic, Rodri came back, got injured. The next 7 games we went unbeaten, winning 6 of them with Kovacic. Kovacic got injured. Yeah. Right. And that is literally go and look at the games, right? That is a fact. Yeah. I don't know. I feel it's a shame that I think Kovacic, because he wasn't part of the treble. So he hasn't got that credit in the bank that some players have got. Actually, let's also say and have it right. The back end of the season, Kovacic was one of our most creative players as well. And there's no coincidence that when we didn't have Kovacic on the pitch against fucking Crystal Palace, we didn't win a final, right? So I think Kovacic has got a really good shout. He won't get it.
No, he's one of those players, mate, that I imagine Pep regrets that he never got to coach younger.
Yeah.
You know, he went to Real Madrid, didn't he? And we could have had him then.
Do you know
he
the
went
maddest thing?
to Chelsea from Real Madrid, and we could have had him then.
Right, that's when. Yeah. So I always remember, right? We and someone's going to have to give me the name of the other player, right? But right, the summer that we went in for Jorginho, yeah. Kovacic was at Madrid. We went in for Jorginho. No, that was also I think that was also the Fred summer. There was right. So because Fred to United happened, yeah, and that happened. Then we were heavily. It looked like we were getting Jorginho, but then because of the Sarri thing, I think Napoli said, if you're taking Sarri, we want you to also take Jorginho for this price, right? So he went, and then City got linked with two players. One was a Southampton defensive midfielder, right? And that sounds insane at this point, yeah? But Southampton had a good defensive midfielder at that point. And we were linked with him. I'm going to go and look this up now because it's doing my head in. Southampton had a good defensive midfielder. That would have been round about 2018.
Oh, what's he called? The bald Spanish guy.
I need to fucking look at this. Southampton.
He used to play for Barcelona, didn't he?
Defensive midfielder.
Oriel Romeu. Is that him?
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah. You know? Yeah, I think it was 20. When did Rodri sign for us?
17.
Nah, 18. I think
17, 18, wasn't
it? The year before the.
Nah, it was. Was it Højbjerg? It was Højbjerg. It was Højbjerg. We were linked with Højbjerg and fucking Kovacic. It was Højbjerg. 100%. It was Højbjerg. God, I've lost you lot now. Where you gone? There we go. It was Højbjerg. No, it was Højbjerg. We were linked with Højbjerg and Kovacic, right? And Pep came out and said, we're not just going to get a DM if it's not the right DM. Yeah, it went Spurs. It was Højbjerg, 1,000,000%. I remember we were linked with Højbjerg and we were linked with Kovacic. And Pep came out and said, I'm not just going to get a DM for the sake of getting a DM. It has to be the right DM. And we didn't get a DM that summer. We then went the next summer and got Rodri. Right? And now and the mad thing is that Chelsea then went and got Kovacic as well as getting Jorginho, yeah? But I went to a Chelsea game with a mate that supports them, right, for his birthday. And I watched Kovacic and I thought, fucking hell, he'd be mint at City.
He was mint as a young kid at Zagreb or something. And watched him there and he went Real Madrid and he was a baller at Madrid.
Yeah.
He didn't play much games there because they had Casemiro. They had Casemiro and Modric a lot of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my God, he's such. I've never seen a player in my whole life of watching football, 30 odd years, that has the ability to sprint with a ball over 5 yards out and hold the ball at his feet like that.
Right. If you this, so I went to the Chelsea v Villa. It was right, and Lukaku scored for Chelsea, right? But if anyone, I can't remember. This would have been 2021. I think it would have been right. Lukaku scored, but the goal. So Kovacic picked up the ball just outside Chelsea's box. He had 3 players round him, managed to turn away from all 3 of them, a quick sprint, exactly like you said, and then played an eye of the needle pass through for Lukaku to run onto, right? And Lukaku ran on, just put it in the bottom corner. And I just thought, fucking hell. And that was... Then when we got Haaland and I saw we were getting Kovacic, I thought, yeah, that could. And this season, he's so press resistant with the ball as well, running with the ball. He's unbelievable. I think one thing that hasn't helped Kovacic, right, is unfortunately, he had a bad game against Arsenal, right? Now, and now there's relevance to that is because there's a lot of rivals that don't watch City, yeah? But they watch City v Arsenal. So they see that one bad game, and he always seems to have bad games against Arsenal. And then from that point, they're like, yeah, Kovacic is fucking shit. And it's like, what, based off one single game?
He gave that goal against United. He gave that Diallo goal away for United, didn't he, as well?
Yeah. But it's too, that is a thing, though. This season, we've had so many people make bozo mistakes, right? But that happens when you're playing for a team that are lacking confidence. Like, you know, you make the wrong pass. So, but yeah, I don't know. I can't see Kovacic going. For me, my shout for players of the season would be between Kovacic and Vardiol. And I'm not gonna lie, I'd put Haaland up there as well, because at times I think Haaland was scoring goals when we weren't creating too much for him. So
mine's Marmoush. I think the way he came in January and just hit the league by storm, and
yeah, mate,
coinciding with how our form picked up from January, and we are the best team in England or the Premier League since January.
Are we?
Yeah, we're top of the form table. I think of the 19. We played 20 games. I think Liverpool played 19, but we're top on that since January. So
yeah, Ivana, Man City fans hate Kovacic. Nah, a small portion of Man City fans hate Kovacic. Do you know what? I'll be completely honest with you. And by the way, I've got to put this out there. I have no beef with and I say this on most shows, I have no beef with non-game going fans. However, it is a different experience going to a game and not going to a game. It's the only reason why I make the point. Any game going fans, I don't hear any hate for Kovacic at games ever. Ever. Like not once. Right. One super chat. Any info on Maya Carrizzo? We've been scouting. No, I haven't seen nothing on him. I have actually seen a few rumours on a player from Belgium. Is it? Yeah. You lot seen that?
I saw it. The price was a bit mad for a second division, but Belgium seems to be wanting 35 million euros. Is a bit.
Yeah. Swiss international player of the season, but yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, do you know what? It might be one that comes over as a squad player, but I think
it's a City group signing that. I think.
You think?
Yeah.
What, Girona or something like that?
CFA player.
I just think it's 22, isn't he? So I think it's want to get him in, loan him out somewhere, let him have a couple of years of development, and then start him on for decent money.
Yeah. But no info on this. Evil Cat Lord. That is a mad name. Evil Cat Lord. Get hell. He-Man. No, who's a cat in He-Man? They're all cats, weren't they?
Yeah.
He-Man? There were?
Well, not Thundercats.
Thundercats. Sorry, it wasn't He-Man. Yeah, I'm thinking He-Man weren't a cat. Yeah, Thundercats. We'll call you Thundercats. Thundercats, I'll go and have a look up this guy now. So I appreciate you scouting him to me. Right, I will be back later on today at 3:30 with Patrick. You guys, what are you up to for the rest of the day? Got anything decent going on?
Working, mate. What I've supposed to have been doing while I'm on here.
Oh. Hope you got so much, or do you work for yourself?
I'm self-employed, mate, so I can take some time, yeah.
Well, tell yourself off. Alan, you go in bed soon?
I'm going to bed in about an hour. I'm going to watch TV with Dave for a bit and then go to bed.
Okay, well, say goodnight to Dave from us. People, we will be back.
Dave, say goodnight.
We won't get a response because he's non-existent. Night, everyone.